see. Oh, we got. Well, we got to do some trading. Dion, she's mine. Hey, Dion. And Jordan, I want to talk.
Wait a second. Is this actually happening? Jerry Jones, the mastermind of mayhem, plotting behind the curtain again? Oh, it's never just football with Jerry. It's a full-blown circus made of money, power, and unpredictable madness. Word on the street is he's got a secret plan brewing around none other than Shedeur Sanders. And it's so wild it had Kevin Stefanski looking like someone yanked his headset out mid-play. This isn't strategy. It's pure, meme-worthy chaos that only Jerry could pull off. And trust me, if this plan goes through, it could flip the NFL upside down. The Cleveland Browns somehow did the impossible. No, they didn't win the lottery or survive another soul-crushing draft. This time, they pulled off something even rarer. They might have actually found the guy. A quarterback who doesn't melt down when the pressure hits. Shedeur Sanders walks in cool as ice, fires bullets across the field, and suddenly Browns fans are brushing the dust off a word they haven't used in years. Hope! Can you believe it? The kid looks like the real deal, a true franchise quarterback, the kind you build statues for. But just when Cleveland starts to dream again, here comes Jerry Jones, the NFL's richest supervillain, sliding into the picture like he owns destiny itself.
Network. I'm old enough to remember the last time we had an exciting quarterback fall to the Cowboys when they came up. Have you guys gone through that scenario if there was an exciting quarterback like, say, Jackson Dart or Shedeur Sanders there at 12?
Yeah, well, we've got a major commitment with Dak, and so you weigh all of that. And but I was going to add to this whole conversation, it's very often that somebody will step up and say, now, we got this guy right here. We've got him. And we just signed him under contract.
Jerry isn't just watching, he's scheming, whispering to insiders, working phones, smiling that billionaire grin that says he's about to cause trouble. He doesn't just own the Cowboys, he owns the spotlight. For Jerry, football isn't a sport, it's Broadway on turf, complete with overpriced nachos and a plot twist every quarter. And the second he heard Shedeur Sanders' name buzzing beyond Cleveland, something in him snapped. You could almost hear the click of the switch flipping inside his ego. The man didn't get interested, he got activated. Quarterbacks to Jerry aren't just players, they're money machines and shoulder pads. And Shedeur, he's not just a quarterback, he's a gold mine with an arm. The kind of talent that can break records in the internet. To Jerry, Shedeur isn't just the future. He's a global brand, a walk-in empire. The man sees him throwing lasers in Tokyo, starring in Netflix specials, and selling out stadiums before Sunday Night Football even starts. You can almost see Jerry's eyes light up, like a billionaire pirate spotting treasure on the horizon. The man who built a $1.3 billion monument to himself might just be ready to make his next legendary move.
The love affair that we have. What? And I have always admired him, both on and off the. And I said, that's hard.
And this one could shake the entire league. But of course, the second Jerry Jones smells opportunity, subtlety drops dead on the spot. The man wouldn't know quiet business if it tackled him on the 50-yard line. He can't just make a normal phone call. Oh no, that'd be tampering. And while Jerry's got the moral compass of a used car salesman at a fake ethics seminar, even he knows better than to get caught red-handed when the cameras are rolling. So what does he do? He gets slick with it. Suddenly there are whispers, secret meetings, anonymous dinners popping up around Dallas like pop-up shops. The same shady sources start buzzing, and third-party friends magically become the hottest dinner guests in town. It's all cloak and dagger nonsense, except instead of spies, it's millionaires with bad lighting and worse secrets. Then comes the twist that turns this drama into pure legend. Shedeur Sanders, Jerry's old partner in Flash, Cowboys royalty, the man who made Dallas prime time before streaming, was even a thing.
And that's what I respect the most about Shedeur, about Shiloh, and also about Prime. They know who they are, They don't waver away from it.
They have to remember you don't get to write your plans in pen.
9th hardest schedule this season, and the Cowboys have the 10th. That's where we're headed now. The public saga continues between Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons as the team has not gotten any closer to reaching a new contract since Micah requested a trade on August 1st. Here's Jerry's latest comments.
These two go way back. Money, fame, ego. Their history could fill a stadium. And if there's one voice Jerry still bends an ear to, even after all these years of chaos, it's primetime himself. So when Dion starts casually dropping his son's name into the mix, Jerry doesn't just nod. He leans in. You can almost see the dollar signs flashing behind his eyes. In Jerry's mind, this isn't recruitment, it's empire building. The man's not scouting talent, he's writing the script for his next act in NFL history. But here's the kicker, he's dressing it up like it's a football decision. He's spinning it as the Cowboys need their future quarterback. Dak's contract is a mess. The NFC East is a war zone. Sounds smart, right? Makes perfect sense. Until you remember, Logic and Jerry Jones haven't shared a room since the Clinton administration. This isn't some mild 2 picks and a backup type of deal. Nah, Jerry's going nuclear. He's ready to offer a package so wild it'd make the Herschel Walker trade look like a garage sale. We're talking multiple first-rounders, star players, and financial gymnastics that'd give Wall Street a panic attack. He's willing to gut his roster.
So why don't you talk?
Again, nothing would be that, and we might or might not talk. And the rest of that gets in what we do every day.
Think that talks would pick up a little bit with him?
I don't know that necessarily talks will, but we've got a game coming, and he's on.
Torch the salary cap and maybe even pawn his own soul, just for the chance to see Shedeur Sanders wearing that silver star on his helmet. That's how far gone Jerry Jones is. And the scariest part, he's just getting started. Meanwhile, over in Cleveland, things are quietly falling apart at the seams. Half the front office is preaching patience. Protect Shedeur, build around him, let the kid breathe. For once, they've got a quarterback who doesn't need therapy after every press conference. But the other half, they've got dollar signs spinning in their eyes like slot machines. They're not thinking about football. They're thinking about merch drops, brand deals, and turning Shedeur Sanders into the next marketing gold rush. Now suddenly, the Cleveland Browns, yes, those same Browns, are talking about becoming a marketing juggernaut. Can you imagine?
Does this surprise you guys that Shedeur Sanders, pick number 144, is now the best-selling jersey of the draft class?
No, and this is why he's going to be a Cleveland Brown. I think he's going to be on the roster no matter what. Because at the end of the day, I do think he has a safe floor at quarterback, but those type of things, moving the needle, moving dollars around and being relevant as
Cleveland trying to sell flash and glitz is like selling beachfront property in Ohio. It's just not happening. But that doesn't stop the madness. The boardroom's on fire. Coaches are arguing for development while executives chase the bag, and right in the middle of this tug-of-war stands Shedeur himself. A rookie who just wants to ball out while billionaires hover above him like vultures at a Texas BBQ. It's pressure from every angle. Front office politics, media hype, and now whispers of Jerry Jones lurking in the shadows. Because here's the thing about Jerry. He plays the long game. He doesn't rush. He plants seeds, drops hints, and lets the world spin until the perfect opportunity opens up.
Nice to see you.
He's the kind of man who'll smile, sit back, and wait for an injury, a contract meltdown, or a locker room leak to swing the door wide open. And when that moment comes, boom! He strikes like a man chasing destiny, not just deals. In Jerry's mind, this isn't about winning another Super Bowl. It's about legacy. He wants his name written in the same breath as football itself. The man who outsmarted the league, who turned the Cowboys into a global stage show, who made Sundays feel like Hollywood premieres. To him, Shedeur Sanders isn't just a quarterback. He's the golden key to immortality, the bridge between the Cowboys' past and the empire Jerry dreams of building. Forget America's team. Jerry's trying to make the Cowboys Earth's team. Let's take a second and just laugh because Jerry Jones' so-called master plan is pure comedy gold. This entire scheme depends on a rookie quarterback surviving Jerry's spotlight.
Hire primetime Deion Sanders as a head coach. What? That would be crazy.
Whoa.
Is Jerry Jones crazy enough to do something like that someday?
No, but he does know how to spell well enough and not answer a hypothetical question.
That's like throwing a goldfish into a shark tank and hoping it starts doing laps with the great whites. Dallas doesn't nurture quarterbacks, it devours them. One bad interception, one rough press conference, and the Dallas media will tear Shedeur apart faster than a bad reality show contestant who forgot their lines. And Jerry, oh Jerry, the same man who couldn't stand letting Jimmy Johnson get credit for his own Super Bowls, actually thinks he can play puppet master over Deion Sanders' son.
Last 2 minute drive. You don't give it to him? Come on, man, make it make sense. They don't want that boy in Cleveland. We know they don't want him in Cleveland. They do it now. That's dirty. That's 2 L's they gotta hold. Right? He did, but come on, man. You don't want, like he said though, they don't want to have a quarterback controversy. That's cute and all, but nah, you got to get to the smoke. But, it's a silver lining in all this in the end for your boy. I think, personally, this is my take, and this is going to blow your mind. He's going to end up with Jerry Jones in Dallas. Why, you say? Jerry loves...
That's not confidence. That's straight delusion dressed in designer boots. And honestly, the only thing more absurd than that fantasy is the idea that Cleveland's front office could suddenly become smart and united. Please, the Browns couldn't agree on lunch, let alone a franchise-altering decision. If this madness actually goes through, it won't just be chaos. It'll be a meltdown for the ages. NFL sanctions, media backlash, and Jerry Jones going down not as a visionary mogul, but as the billionaire who blew up his own empire during a midlife crisis. He'll go from the man who built America's team to the man who turned it into America's biggest punchline. And you know the NFL won't let this circus run wild for long. The league hates this kind of off-script chaos. They want neat press releases, clean trades, and quiet handshakes under perfect lighting. But Jerry? He's out here running secret dinner meetings like he's auditioning for a Bond villain role. One wrong text, one loose-lipped source, and boom, the hammer drops. Tampering charges, $1 million fines, investigations, public shaming, the full show. And when that happens, Jerry won't take the blame. He'll spin it. He'll call it innovation being punished, claiming the league's just trying to suppress his genius. Because that's the real secret. Jerry thrives on controversy. He doesn't avoid chaos, he feeds on it. To him, bad press is the strategy. The Cowboys don't even need Super Bowls to stay on top. They just need headlines. And with Shedeur Sanders in the mix, Jerry's basically been handed a flamethrower inside a fireworks factory. Win or lose, it won't matter. The Cowboys will dominate every headline, every debate, every Sunday. And Jerry Jones, he'll be right there in the middle of it all, grinning like the self-crowned emperor of chaos. He's always wanted to be that guy, the king who controls the board, every piece, every move. But here's the brutal truth hiding under all that billionaire shine. While Jerry Jones is out here playing chess with people's careers, Shedeur Sanders is just trying to survive. He didn't ask for this spotlight. He didn't beg to be the star of Jerry's grand finale. All he ever wanted was to play the game, to prove himself, to carve out his own legacy beyond his father's shadow.
Comments on this Micah Parsons trade have me confused. We all know Jerry Jones is in the media way too much, but him coming out saying, essentially, we got rid of Micah Parsons because we need to stop the run. Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, now Russell Wilson. Some of the top quarterbacks in the NFL in your division. So you got to stop the run, but these dudes can throw off.
Yet somehow, he's been thrown into the middle of $1 billion soap opera. Schemes, legacies, egos, and family drama straight out of a Shakespeare play. And somewhere off stage, Deion Sanders waits watching, because the moment this gets serious, everyone will feel that shift, the calm before the chaos. There's that eerie tension you can't ignore. Everyone pretends it's business as usual, but deep down, they know something's brewing. You can see it on Shedeur's face when he walks into practice, focused, calm, but carrying a weight no rookie should have to bear. Because once Jerry Jones writes your name on his vision board, your career stops belonging to you. Suddenly, you're not just a quarterback. You're a headline, a marketing plan.
Direct question about, has he had a chance to get up with Shedeur and Shedeur throwing some passes? And you heard what Jerry Jeudy said. We throw the ball around a little bit, and Shedeur has an arm. He said Shedeur has one of the best arms.
A piece in a billionaire's dream of immortality. And that's where things get wild. We're not just talking about football anymore. This feels like Shakespeare and shoulder pads. Jerry Jones, the aging king, desperate to build his final monument before the curtain falls. Shedeur Sanders, the prodigal prince, caught between two dynasties, his father's legacy and Jerry's empire. And Cleveland, that's the fractured kingdom, torn between loyalty and greed, unsure whether to protect their golden boy or cash out for a marketing fantasy that'll probably crash faster than a bad stock. Inside the Browns locker room, the drama is real. It's no longer about game plans, it's politics, pressure, and paranoia. Coaches whisper about giving Shedeur the keys to the future, while the front office crunches numbers, calculating how many luxury boxes they could sell if they turned him into the next NFL superstar. It's chaos wrapped in corporate polish, and everyone's pretending it's under control, but behind the scenes, the fuse is already lit and the explosion is coming. By the time Jerry Jones started circling with that cowboy hat tilted low and a wallet fat with oil money, the paranoia in Cleveland was off the charts. The water boys probably had hedge fund advisors whispering in their ears by then. That's how deep the madness ran. Every hallway, every phone call, every rumor felt like a setup. And poor Shedeur, the one guy actually holding the football, was standing dead center in this circus like a confused ringmaster. The Dallas media didn't make it easier either. Every move he made was treated like prophecy. If Shedeur wore cowboy boots to practice, half the league's executives started updating their resumes like the rapture was coming to the NFL.
Guess what? Guys get hurt. So you bet your whole house that you got him, and then all of a sudden you don't have him. So that's when your old mind starts saying, well, if this guy did get hurt, what would we do this year?
This is where Jerry's vision jumped from ambitious to straight Shakespearean. In his head, Shedeur wasn't just another young quarterback. He was the chosen one. The prodigal prince who could restore the Cowboys dynasty and carry it into eternity. Forget Dak Prescott. Forget the endless carousel of playoff heartbreaks. Forget that Dallas hasn't seen real glory since highlight tapes came on VHS. Jerry Jones saw Shedeur Sanders as his golden ticket to cheat time itself. If he could land this kid, the Cowboys wouldn't just win games, they'd become a religion, a brand, a global empire that'd make Disney jealous. But of course, Jerry being Jerry, he couldn't just want it, he had to make it legendary. So the rumors started flying, insane billion-dollar kind of whispers. He was ready to trade everything. 3 first-round picks, a Pro Bowl defender, maybe even a lifetime supply of brisket to seal the deal. And if you listen close enough, you could almost hear him pacing his yacht, phone in hand saying, what if I toss in the entire practice facility? Or maybe the yacht itself? He was out of control in the most Jerry Jones way possible. Because this wasn't just about football anymore, it was about legacy, about who gets to control the story when the dust settles, who stands next to Jerry under those flashing cameras, who gets remembered when ESPN drops that 20-year anniversary documentary. Jerry didn't just want to build a team, he wanted to write history. And in his mind, Shedeur Sanders was the final chapter he'd been waiting his whole life to finish. And then there's the NFL. Oh boy, the league was sweating bullets. Tampering rumors were flying through the air like confetti after another Cowboys playoff heartbreak. If Jerry really was out here,
Shedeur Sanders, like I've stated in these previous videos, it's all lies. It's all smoke and mirrors. Jerry Jeudy just verified that. He's a wide receiver. He's the one catching the ball from Shedeur. So he knows what that arm strength is. He knows what that arm talent is. A lot of stuff that's been lied about Shedeur, all the collusion. We heard what Eric Dickerson said. Fix was in. But it sounded like Jerry Jeudy said, man, Shedeur is a baller. Shedeur got a bright future. It's almost like he's saying, man, he's
pulling strings behind the curtain, calling up Dion, sliding notes under tables, making friendly promises that sounded a whole lot like bribes. Then the NFL had a full-blown scandal on its hands. You could almost feel the panic in those league offices, like someone had just told them Roger Goodell's Wi-Fi got hacked. But let's be real, this is Jerry Jones we're talking about. The man's been bending rules since pagers were considered high-tech. What's the league gonna do? Fine him? Suspend him? Please. Jerry would just write the check by the fine department and rename it the Jerry Jones Center for Creative Accounting. He'd probably cut the ribbon himself and smile for the cameras while doing it. That's how untouchable he thinks he is. And that's exactly why the stakes were sky high. Because if Jerry actually pulled this off, if Shedeur Sanders ever walked into AT&T Stadium wearing that iconic silver star, it wouldn't just be a trade, it'd be a revolution. We're talking headlines for months, jersey sales through the roof, documentaries already in pre-production. Imagine Jerry in his private suite, whiskey glass in hand, grinning like the Joker while the world loses its mind. The man wouldn't just be celebrating, he'd be immortalized. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders would be standing in the middle of this storm, just a young man who wanted to play football, suddenly dragged into a billionaire tug-of-war that could reshape the league. And the Browns, they'd be the divided kingdom, torn between loyalty and greed, tradition and temptation, knowing that one wrong move could haunt them for decades. It's not just drama anymore, it's NFL Shakespeare, a tale of kings, power, betrayal, and ambition. Except this time, the swords are replaced with shoulder pads and Gatorade bottles. So what happens next? Only time, and maybe Jerry's next outrageous phone call will tell. But one thing's for sure, this saga isn't over yet. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share if you're loving the chaos, and I'll catch you on the next one.